And we're back at you with another Hit Your Friends, jumping into game one of Team. The team on our left here is, let me double check the name, I've already forgotten, it was 2 seconds ago. Team Grievous versus Team Hardcore on the right. They have longer names than that, but those will be what I'm shortening them to, because people keep giving me obnoxious names to try to make me stumble and forget them, even though I forgot the one-word one I shortened the last one to last time, but hey, forget that. So we have bands coming through. We have Mordekaiser band that is targeted at Vronti Lykos, that's a very common one for him. Kha'Zix, that needs to be banned. I think Nick Morbius has been practicing that, and it's very strong in the jungle right now. Draven band, that's targeted at Kirebo here. That's a very annoying EDC, and one that if he gets a head on, he'll just kind of run you down. And Hecarim, I'm not actually sure who that is going at. That might just be a general strong ban, or one that they're getting maybe at Xandrobe. I think he's played Hecarim in the past. And at the very least, I know some people can play Hecarim at the very least. And then Singed, I know that is targeted at Healer Diff, as he doesn't want Vronti, who's going to be managing Healer Diff in the top lane this time, doesn't want to be seeing that Singed out of Healer Diff, as it's very annoying. I might have said that backwards. I forget. Yes, last time we had Dameshi up in top lane, kind of the, chum dropped into the shark-infested waters that is Vronti Lykos and told, just make sure he doesn't eat you too fast. Let's see how well the Healer Diff can manage it here. I don't know if he actually did pick away the Darius. Interesting. Okay, I like that a lot, actually. Leave them the hope of, ooh, they didn't ban Darius, he's going to get to play it. Nope. Stealing away from you. Skarner, that's probably going to be Xandrobe in jungle on the Skarner. That was really, really obnoxious last time. We let it through once and regretted it and banned it in every game after that because, oh man, Skarner's not necessarily that strong right now. I think he's pretty good. He's not like OP or anything necessarily, but he's very, very hard to deal with, and you don't want to have to pay that extra 1,300 gold for a Quicksilver Sash. It really hurts. Some people are going to have to do it depending on what their characters are. You're not going to see Darius doing it, but in any ADC there, or a particularly immobile mage in mid lane, you might need to be buying that QSS. It feels really bad to buy QSS as a mage, though. It doesn't build into anything useful. Maybe late game you can sell it if he's targeting other people and you're strong enough to stay safe, but Aphelios, that's almost certainly going to be Connor on that. He's been playing that a lot lately, and he's quite good at the Aphelios. Does so much damage, man. I don't understand Aphelios. I've tried. I know you cycle back and forth between those guns. It just doesn't quite make sense to me. I don't know how to maximize his damage, and I feel okay, but it just hasn't clicked there. When you see somebody who's good at Aphelios, you're like, what is happening? I'm okay. I'm just dead from like 8 million miles away, and then if you get up close and he's got the wrong guns, you're dead instantly from up close. It's like, ooh, he's a very strong ADC. Once he gets 3 items or so, he'll really start to come alive. But he's gonna probably have to be buying that QSS, especially with that set as well. That's 2 good QSS-able ults now that he might need to use to rescue himself a little bit. Seeing the Xerath ban, that makes sense. I've got Epic Bro Moment on Team Grievous over here, and that is going to be taking away that both as a mid lane option and could be a support option as well, but we've already seen the Leonis. That's going to take that away in mid lane. Very annoying to play against. He likes those poke mages, and people don't like playing against poke mages, oddly enough. It's really annoying to play dodgeball all game. When you signed up to play League of Legends, you suddenly find yourself playing dodgeball instead. Now that people are looking for. I'm curious what else we'll see here coming out. Support bans, yep. I was going to say probably some support bans. They ban the Morgana because Omja tends to play Blitzcrank a lot, and that's a pretty good counter to him there. The Veigar, that's probably just taking away some of the mid lane pool. I think that might be one of Epic Bro Moment's other go-to mid laners, so they might be trying to pinch his pool a little bit here. The Zilean ban was definitely targeted at Epic Bro Moment as well. He's been known to like the Zilean, and Zilean with that Draven has been pretty nasty in some of the non-recorded games that we had here. Ever since recording the last ones, this is our first session since the last one, so we have a direct continuation from that last saga here. Player pools might be mixed up a little bit. I don't think we have the exact same teams as last time, or not sorry, the exact same group as last time, same pool of players. We definitely have different teams. The 2 captains here were Healer Diff and Morbius. Nick and Tom flipped though. Healer Diff is Tom, Morbius is Nick. And so we'll see how these 2 teams do. Healer Diff directly called out Vronti Lykos and said he wanted to handle him in top lane. And Xand, who's going to be on the Skarner here more than likely, has been talking all kinds of shit this today, saying that he's going to bring the smackdown and that we are all cowards and that he's got beef with everybody. Even me, apparently, even though I wasn't even in the last games. I wasn't in the last games at all. I don't think I was in the previous games with him in it before that either. I don't think he was in the last session either. So I don't know why he's got beef with me and everybody else, but apparently he does. So we'll see how he fares today, if he's gonna act on that beef or it was just all talk. We'll find out. Okay, Vel'Koz, that's another one that Epic Bro Moment plays. Like I said, he likes those poke mages. That's probably going to be a mid lane Vel'Koz, and that's probably going to be picked on quite heavily by Skarner, if I had to guess. If Skarner can get around that one little knockback that Vel'Koz has, it's going to be very, very hard for him to survive. LeBlanc, that's Probably Hobomaniac on the LeBlanc. He's got a very scary LeBlanc. I'm surprised we didn't see any bans targeted at him, especially because I think they should have been able to figure out that he was going to be their mid laner there. But, you know, these player pools are pretty flexible. We're able to jump around pretty well as needed. Most players play at least 2, maybe even 3 different roles pretty confidently here. So it means you never really know what you're going to be up against here. We do have a Wukong jungle coming through from Meshi. Interesting. I really like Wukong jungle. Ever since they made it so that his little dash can go over some of the smaller walls, he has some really interesting gank paths and clear paths that you don't really expect. He's got such a variety of options now that it's hard to figure out where he's going to be when. It lets you get ganked at times you don't necessarily expect. The LeBlanc is going to be very scary. If it gets on top of the Vel'Koz effectively, it's going to blow him up very, very quickly. Vel'Koz has that one knockback to try to deal with it. If he manages to somehow hit LeBlanc out of her dash, it could turn in his favor, but that is a very, very quick dash that's going to be difficult to do. We're going to have our awkward 3-minute spectator delay here while we wait for everybody to actually get in game. So let's just break down the comps again and see who we've got. I don't like that I can only see the right-hand side player names. It'd be really nice if we see the ones on the left-hand side too. Maybe there's a way to do that. I don't know. I don't think there is. But we heal the Diff on Darius. It's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen him play Darius. Maybe a little bit a very long time ago. But I definitely think he just wanted to take it away from Vronti more than anything. It looks like Vronti then picked the set into that to take it into the Darius there. He's pretty good at sets. That's pretty scary. But I really think that matchup can go either direction. I think I've seen people win and lose that on Darius. It really should be a pretty fun matchup and a pretty skill-dependent matchup. It'll be whoever is the better player is likely to come out on top of that one, I think. I don't think there's really one player favored one way or the other in that one. I'm not that big of a top player. Could be totally wrong on that. Maybe sets a perfect counter to Darius. I think it's a pretty even match, though, and I think it should be an entertaining one. We have Jinx and Aphelios, so 2 very similar ADCs. Both pretty immobile, both pretty long range, and both very, very scary once they've got 3 or so items going on. They can do some good stuff before then, but once they get those items, they really become those true hyper carries that you're looking for. We have Wukong versus Skarner in the jungle. Skarner's definitely going to be a little bit more straightforward, let's say, than Wukong. Wukong has those alternative gank paths that he can take advantage of a little more than Skarner can. But both of them can itemize very differently. Both of them can go for more of an aggressive build or more of a tanky build or kind of somewhere in between, more bruisery. I think Skarner is likely to be pretty tanky. I think that's just how Xan tends to build him. I'm not sure how Meshi will build Wukong here. I think I've been seeing Wukong built a little bit more tanky lately just because he's got those 2 charges on that ult, and so kind of using that for a large group of CC a couple of times is a bit better than trying to be that bursty assassin Wukong. Though with the changes to the Yomu's Ghostblade becoming a mythic and being a bit overstated, in my personal opinion. Its item seems a little bit too strong at the moment. Could be wrong, but I think we're probably going to see some nerfs coming into that item's direction here in the near future. I think that Wukong could potentially go for that aggressive build, a little bit burstier if you wanted to. Don't think that's what we'll see. I don't think that's what we should see, but they do have a lot of tankiness in Darius and Leona, so maybe you could get away with it. In the mid lane, we've got that Vel'Koz and the LeBlanc. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm curious. Vel'Koz can keep his range pretty well, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to farm without those W's unless he's going to step up and take a bit of risk. So his timing on when he does that to clear the waves is going to be really important, and how much Hobomaniac is likely to be able to punish that. I'm pretty confident that's going to be Hobomaniac on the LeBlanc over there. I don't remember the exact team names or team comps there, but I'm pretty sure on Team Hardcore over there we are likely to have. That might be Maw of Morbius on Sona? No, that's probably Goose on Sona. That's probably Goose on Sona. That might be Maw of Morbius on Jinx then. Vronti on Set, Hobo on LeBlanc, and Xand on Skarner. That's my guess there. And then these supports, we have the Sona and the Leona. Definitely going to be, the initiative is in favor, for sure, of the Leona and the Aphelios down that bot lane. Sona's going to be a bit more, back up, heal up, try to create some space, don't want to get engaged on it. If they hit a Zenith Blade on that Sona, she's going to explode. She's incredibly squishy early. Okay, I was right on I think pretty much everything here. As far as, yep, I think so. I think I got Morbius on the Jinx there. Took me a second. The Sona threw me off a little bit, and then I remembered I'd seen Goose play that a little bit recently. Sona is definitely pretty weak early, very, very squishy. Doesn't provide a ton of utility for you. Has a decent bit of healing, but as she goes on, as the game scales, she becomes very, very effective. So expect to see that to be a little bit weak in the bottom lane early, but expect that as the game goes on, we're going to really quickly hide our little bar there at the bottom. I didn't see if there were any kills early. Hopefully you didn't either. Don't rewind it and catch it. It's going to be more fun if you don't know. And let's get ourselves this objective timers. Let's get the scoreboard on. It's gonna take up a little bit of space on the screen, but I think it's nice, and I'll probably be flipping back and forth on the gold a little bit. Cool, so make sure I remember how to do that. And we'll see if anybody goes for any sort of spicy start. We have not seen, we used to see all the time, 5-man invades, really weird like bottom lane, bush cheeses, and all that in Hate Your Friends, but it seems like it's definitely chilled out in recent years. Just kind of this current iteration of the pool of players don't care to be as aggressive. So I think Darius should win this, especially having Conqueror stacked up. Yeah, I don't think you want to be here set, though if you have your W, yep, oh, we flashed it. Okay, it was a good flash. Oh, he actually gets this? I think he's dead. He's totally dead. Right? He's not dead? Okay, I was about to say, there he goes. I was about to say, he's got to be dead. There's no way. I think he popped a pot at the end there, and it was starting to heal him just a little bit. But he hits him with the disrespectful question mark too. So to say, if he has that W, then Set's going to win this. I think that's what Vronti was counting on there. Let's get our scoreboard rearranged here. Get these a little bit more accurate to where they are in the lanes. Nope, I missed that one. And then we go like this, and then we go like that. Cool. So first blood quickly there to healer Diff, disrespecting Vronti a little bit there. He had the ignite on Vronti, and I think he thought that would get him there, especially with the W, but a really good flash to get behind him and dodge that massive, massive amount of damage. He was totally toasted that hit. Said he racked up so much damage, there's absolutely no chance he survives that, especially if it's in the center, gets that true damage. Even if it's on the sides, it was definitely have to kill him. And one of those few ticks of ignite getting through him there. And I think he got out as well. The fact that LeBlanc wasn't able to punish that as well is actually kind of surprising. But I guess with him being kind of stacked up, LeBlanc didn't want to risk taking an auto attack and having it go badly, especially with him getting some triumph healing. Again, I was more looking at the set there to see if he was gonna actually die versus what LeBlanc was doing on the follow-up. I'm just surprised that with like flash and ignite, she wasn't able to really make something work there. But again, she would lose those for her utility in this mid lane here, which could be a little bit dicey. So I'm going to try to be, some of the feedback I got, trying to be a little bit more deliberate in how I'm using the camera. I'll try to do that a little bit. It's hard to know where to be when, so I'm going to be looking at the minimap, trying to figure that out. And I'll try to not have it be too jerky. If I can figure out a way to make it a little bit more smooth, then I'll start to use that a little bit more. So let's see, what did, our shop dropped again, dang it. I want that to stay up. I need to figure out a hotkey that toggles this on and off like completely. So we went back and grabbed a cloth armor. Interesting that it only got a cloth armor out of that. I'm curious as to why he couldn't have gotten a little bit more than that, right? I would have bought like a pink ward maybe. Okay, and we already have the Hobomaniac jumping on the Vel'Koz here. Yep, you're totally toasted there. I think he probably could have flashed away, but he probably gotten counter flashed and burn flash for flash. Maybe it's not that great. I do actually I want to go back and see what happened there again. Let's do a little bit more of that this time, because there's a lot going on. We might miss some stuff. Let's focus on this mid lane for just a second here and see what exactly happened here. I think it's probably LeBlanc hitting 3 and all-inning him, if that's my guess. Does she get 3 first? She does get 3 first, so she sees that she's got that level advantage. Goes in, hits him with the chains, gets a Q on there, drops the ignite. That's just so much damage. Like, if LeBlanc lands that chain, you're pretty toast. Didn't even hit the W on him, but it was still just so much damage. It's gonna happen. You know, it's not respecting that level 3 all-in. You got to step back a little bit. I know you want to be up there. You might have to drop a minion or two when that LeBlanc's hitting level 3. It's just really scary. But if you haven't seen it much before, it's kind of, I know Drew's going to do that. I've seen him do that for years now. It's been his classic LeBlanc go-to. As soon as I hit 3, he's going to be going in there. That's just what you want to do on most characters like that. Fizz, Talon, Zed, everyone like that. Once you hit that 3 and you have your whole suite of spells, that's when you're going to be able to maximize your quick little burst. You want to get that first all-in trade. Maybe you can't get the kill, but if you can, you really can start to snowball lane a bit ahead. So we'll see if that Vel'Koz can stay alive a little bit better now. And I really want this thing to stop dropping. I don't know how I keep losing it, but we'll figure it out. Bear with me on these little UI things for a bit here. Okay, we have the Xandrobe coming through. Ooh, a counter gank coming through, though. Oh, actually, not a counter gank. It was the jungler who was already fighting. And that is not so great for the Team Hardcore there. I need to reverse their team names in my little side thing there, but I can't do that right now. Oh, well, fine. I'll try to remember it. A little bit of a trade here. That's pretty good. You know, you want to be putting on some pressure here in the early game as Leona against that Sona for sure, because she is going to become pretty strong late game. And the Wukong is still here, trying to make the difference in this top lane. That is quite ambitious there. Unfortunately, not able to make it work. Vronti is able to punish that one. I don't know if Healer was quite ready for that. He was a little bit low on mana. Maybe couldn't quite follow that up. The junglers are putting such a focus on this top lane here. That is going to be a dead Darius there. His brother, got it wrong. Dead Darius there. They're putting a lot of focus on this top lane here. We've seen, let's check the numbers. Okay, so it looks like Wukong skipped 1 camp going through there. Skarner went for a full clear and is now grabbing that top scuttle, I believe. Yep, grabbing the top scuttle. So we'll see if Wukong right now, you should be sprinting to that bottom scuttle, in my opinion, buddy. This should, you know, you've got this prio in the bot lane here. You don't have as much in mid lane, but you know Skarner's on the top one. This bot one should be yours to snack on. Better to take the outside jungle camps here when you know that they're up here, and then get back to your ones that are a little safer in here once they're going to be able to make their way down there. But you know Skarner was up there. This is your chance to snack that. Definitely go and do it now. It's a little riskier now because you don't necessarily know where the Skarner is, but maybe you caught him on this ward here when he went by there. Maybe. Even then, I think he probably should have gone for that first. That's okay. That's how I've been prioritizing jungling. I think that's a good thing to keep in mind, especially in your early clears here. Don't think we're going to have an early dragon start here anytime soon, but we'll find out. Let's check our little items here. We already have a Iron Spike Whip here on the set. That is pretty scary. He's up a little bit of CS. Even with that first blood, he's able to come back and grab himself 2 kills, even with all that focus there. We could definitely tell both those junglers see that top lane matchup is really, really volatile, and they want to get their 2 laners there any edge that they can on either way. Unfortunately, it backfired a little bit for Dameshi there on the Wukong, but he should be alright. He should be able to get back into this. He's going to scale pretty decently into the mid game here. And let's check our CS numbers. Bot lane looking pretty even. Mid lane's definitely where things are going rough. This is probably going to be a lot of... Ooh, that's a little further than you probably want to go there, into the Chompers. Yep, that... what is that ability called? It's called the Solari, the Iron Solari? No, Eclipse. Okay, that's what it is. It's locked. What's the Solari thing? No? I'm just confused. She is of the Solari, but it was just called Eclipse. I thought there was something else there. Shield of Daybreak, Zenith Blade. I knew Zenith Blade, I know Solar Flare. Did not remember Eclipse. Interesting. I thought there was some more words in that ability, but apparently not. Alright, so definitely a bit of an edge here going to set now in the top lane. Jungle looks pretty darn even. The Wukong has died one time, which means he had dropped those double buffs, but she probably had a little bit of time left on. Probably not a ton. He might have been down to 1 buff at that point anyway, so not the biggest loss. Really in mid lane is where we're seeing a bit of difference there. Just because it's so hard now with that 1 kill onto LeBlanc her picking up that early lost chapter. It's really, really hard for that Vel'Koz to step up to those minions very comfortably now. Especially with that LeBlanc having 6 now. I think we're going to see probably an all-in here pretty soon as she finds an opportunity. Hell, even if she has to W twice, if she has to W and then ult again to get in on this Vel'Koz, she might very well be doing that. Yeah, so you can see here, he's just kind of zoned off. This wave will eventually crash back into him, so there's a little bit of patience here. Be willing to give up some of the CS, and you'll still be all right. So he looks like he's being a little more patient with it now, which is good. Like I said, we're going to see, even if he has to use those double Ws, he's going to try to get in there and trade some damage. He went a little too far that time, took a tower shot, got himself out of there. Not a great trade for you there, but that ult's going to be up again in like 30 seconds. It's a very, very short cooldown, so I think she'll be totally fine for another engage there. We do have the Wukong stopping by for a gank here in mid lane. Let's check this one out real quick. It's really hard to punish the LeBlanc. You've got to find a time where her W is down and she still can't snap back to it. Really hard to get the timing on those. I do like the Skarner starting up the Dragon here. It's a little bit aggressive, but because this LeBlanc here is so much priority in mid lane, I think it's a good call to go ahead and get on this, get it early, get that pressure going. And we actually have a shutdown there. Ooh, okay, that's my bad for trying to get us some more global information. Let's check out this fight in top lane here and see how that went down. So hopefully you don't mind a little bit of backtracking there. It's hard to know exactly when things are going to happen. I'm trying to catch a little bit more global stuff. So we have just an all-out brawl here, just starting it right in the middle of the minion wave. No care in the world for how it's going. We got the pullback, we got that, we got the dunk, and the dunk eats into the shield, but we got the flash to get the last auto there, and he'll just die to that tick damage. All those 5 basketballs spin around him, gonna eventually take him down. Unfortunate there, but a nice play from Mr. Healer Diff up there. I wanted to say Vronti Lykos because he's on the Darius so much when I play with him or when I spectate him that it's just in my mind that it's going to be him. And we have another all in there from LeBlanc, but the barrier saves the Vel'Koz there. He got very, very low, very dicey there. And he lives to fight another day at least. So he's doing okay on the farm numbers there. You know, he was behind a little bit early, but he's kept that even. Ever since getting that first death, he's been behind around 10. He's not letting that gap increase too much, which is good. And I know he's feeling the pressure there from LeBlanc for sure. She didn't ignite. She had ignited there, I think he would have gone down for sure, but it's didn't have the chance to get it off, I suppose, or maybe thought he had the kill anyway, and the barrier kind of surprised him a little bit. Hard to say. Just didn't quite get the kill, and but got him into back. Still going to get himself probably a plate out of this, if I had to guess. Yep, go ahead and get that plate there. Falls to the minions, and he picks it up. Skarner tries to gank bot here, but they seem wise to it. I think, maybe he swept it. Okay, he might have already swept the ward. That'd be probably why they knew. And we immediately see an all-in from them down here. Oh, geez. Okay, let's... Whoop. Pardon me again. Forgive me here, the Skarner's going to come right back here, but I do want to see how this fight goes down. So we see the Skarner comes down and sweeps that ward, and then immediately, that is surprising that you go like so quickly, because that Skarner is still going to be super nearby, but they have the Wukong coming up through the lane. That's why they go for that gank, and he falls to the Aphelios, who steps up a little too far and gets him into some tower range there. A little bit of healing from that summoner, not a summoner heal pop piece, gets a little bit of healing from those red guns, I suppose. And then they're diving in. They're getting a little bit low here. I think the Jinx ult probably did some... Oh, Jinx ult goes wide there. Okay. And then Meshi's still fighting it out. Okay, nice. Meshi, sweet. The Jinx is nearly out of mana. You might be able to dive her as well in a second here if she doesn't respect your range here. He goes invisible, flashes it, gets it. Nicely done, Meshi. Get out of there. Don't auto-attack the minions. Nice. Okay, gets himself out of there. All right. Well done, well done. Quite the hectic fight in that bot lane there. I love the timing on that Wukong coming up, knowing that Skarner is there. That's why they went in immediately. I missed it on the minimap, and I'm sure that the other team wasn't expecting it either, because I can see what's going on, and I didn't even expect it. You might want to back this one off. Yep, okay, let that Ignite fade. We have a flash out of Vronti here, and he's going to re-engage again. His ult is not quite up on this Darius, unfortunately. If that ult was up, I think he maybe could have fought that one, but his ult just now came available, so he was fighting a little bit sooner than he might have needed to. I think that once that Ignite was sticking and he fell back, you wanted to fall back, wait for that ult cooldown to come up, get your spells back a little bit, then maybe re-engage. I know you don't want that set W to be back up again, but not having your ult there means the set does have his ult, so you're going to lose that one, unfortunately. Vronti's got a little bit of a farm lead here. He's going to get himself his third plate up here, too. That is a lot of gold. Let's check out the gold differences here real quick. We have about an 800 gold lead in top lane. We have a pretty much dead even in the jungle. As LeBlanc takes another trade there real quick and gets that Vel'Koz low once again. Oh man, the LeBlanc just gets oppressive once it gets ahead. The CS lead extending to about 20 now in the mid lane. It's, you know, difficult, that's what it is. About 900, 950 gold lead in the mid lane there. We have another engagement from Leona getting straight onto the Jinx. She's going to cleanse out of it and back herself up there. Good trade back. Actually, that trade ended up going in favor of Goose and Born here. That's pretty surprising. Ult comes there onto the Leona. Not going to kill from that range, but definitely puts her into a range where she's got to be pretty pressured. And the Sona's going to be able to heal up any of the remaining damage that did go through there. That was a lot of spells dumped onto that Jinx, and the cleanse got her out of the most of the damage there. That is a W twice forward there for that LeBlanc. She's going to snack up that kill on the Vel'Koz. That's the difficult part. He has his barrier, not quite. He has his barrier in like 2 seconds here. That's unfortunate. Might have saved his life again. It looks like it's not quite up. It is now up there. So didn't quite have the barrier there to potentially save him again, and he will go down there. That's the difficult part. Once that, that's probably why you're seeing Drew take those trades where he backs off a little bit. You're like, huh, could he have like maybe gone for more there if he like really kind of stayed on it? He wants that quick burst. Once you get that Vel'Koz below a half HP, now he doesn't need all of his spells. He doesn't need the whole suite of spells to do it. Now just the E and the Q, maybe a hit from the W will do it, and so we can use that W and the ult that copies one of his other abilities to W in twice. So you can jump half the distance of the lane basically there to get onto him. And that's going to be an ult that's pretty an aggressive ult. As I say, you're bringing a pretty scary Wukong there to your LeBlanc. You don't want to do that, sir. I'm not sure that Drew's going to appreciate that one. A nice flash knock up from the Vel'Koz to shut down the Skarner. With an ult here in top lane, a very, very close fight again up in the top lane. Doesn't quite get it. The set ult comes up again and he dunks down on him. It's a battle of the dunks up on top lane there. We have a engage here in bot lane again as soon as that solar flare comes back up. A flash away from the Jinx. She ults, and then the Affiliate's ult is going to take out the Jinx from range. Oh man, they were just fighting on every single lane of the map all at the same time. Every single person was in a fight within like 10 seconds of each other there. This is the kind of hate your friends game you want to see. Gold is nearly even. It's, you know, less than 1,000 gold difference. 8 to 8. You know, plates and a bit of farm making up the main difference there. We got a small farm lead in the bot lane there. You know, some early kills onto that Affiliate is going to mean a lot. Most of the gold is concentrated in mid, top, and jungle, so I know, you know, the top half of the map for team Hardcore, our red team on the right side here. Most of the gold being in the bot lane and jungle for team Grievous on the left here. Pretty close though. I'm liking this game a lot. I feel like they've got a lot of really good lanes here. I feel like the Vel'Koz is definitely struggling into the LeBlanc, and I feel like I know you like to build Medjai's Epic Realm moment, especially on your long range mages where you're going to pick up those assists and kills from long range. I think against the LeBlanc it is just too greedy. Against a LeBlanc with a lead, not picking up boots is going to be really bad for you, and that Medjai's is just too likely to not be worth its weight in gold for you. Could it? Sure. Maybe you can prove me wrong. You've had those stacked up on Xerath a lot in the previous games. I think against the LeBlanc that's this far ahead, I think that's too greedy of you to do that. I think I'd like to see you itemize a little bit more respectfully of that LeBlanc strength at this stage of the game. You know, maybe pick yourself up the Medjai's later once you stabilize a little bit. You've been able to make use of your range some in some of these team fights and fights around objectives as they come up. But I think going for that now, I know that's your classic build. It's worked for you in the past. I'm not sure it's going to work for you this time. Prove me wrong. Love to see it. But a little ambitious for sure, especially with how strong this LeBlanc is. Let's check the gold differences here again. We've got, it's been really back and forth, but because of those plates and those kills that the set has been able to pick up, Vronti's up about 2,000 gold. That's a lot. He's up 25 CS and an entire tower's worth of plates. He's got the entire tower, the first turret gold. That is a lot. because of those early trades, because he was coming out on top of those, and because he was able to just keep, you know, snacking away at that tower. And I think they might have dropped Rift Herald up there as well. I missed that, I think, during some of the chaos. But I'm imagining they dropped Rift up there just based on how the tower's gone. And the fact, you know, that the Rift Herald's gone as well. I'm thinking that's likely what happened there. Got to be better at looking at the global thing, but there's a lot going on in this game, as you might tell. So now we've got the Wukong moving down towards bot lane. They picked up the dragon there, so even on the dragon count, which is good. I like that, to pick up that, you know, mid early game. It's not really early game. We're approaching the true mid game here at 14 minutes. But that's good to keep the other team from stacking up those dragons, because that can be a really strong point of power for them. Okay, we're gonna have a potential mistake there on that's the wrong one, sir. I was gonna say potential mistake there on Hobomaniac going a little bit too close to the tower and taking some damage, but oh no, you're very dead, sir. There's no way you get away from this. Absolutely no way. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. If things weren't already going badly enough, a rotation down from the set was just going to the nail in the coffin for that Vel'Koz there. But as Hobomaniac took a few tower shots there, I think he stepped forward a little bit further than he meant to. Might have gotten himself in a dicey position where, if the Vel'Koz hit a little bit better there, didn't maybe fall for the clone. Okay, with Skarner with a well-timed gank here. They're going for the all-in onto Sona, but the Skarner is here to try to counter it. The Sona flashes away. They go on the Leona, which is not really where we want to be, but she's slowed. The Jinx Rocket doesn't quite kill her. It's going to be a very dead Aphelios, I imagine. I don't think he's going to. Maybe he is going to be able to get with it, but if the Jinx gets a kill here, then they're both dead, because the Get Excited will let her get in range of that Leona, and she's going to end up picking up both, but the Wukong is on the way to potentially clean up with a big old triple kill here. Neshi with a triple kill. Go for the Sona first. Go for the Sona first. Don't get distracted by the Skarner. Go for the Sona. She's getting out of there. He's got a red buff, though. He's going to be able to get onto her. There's no way he doesn't get onto her, and she's going to die. Yep. But the Skarner does get out at least, except he's going to sit there and take a ward instead. Zan, what are you doing, buddy? I know you don't really see there, but I know there's a blast gun there, but I don't think, yeah, you're not going to be able to get away with that. Zan, buddy, when you're that low and you know that Wukong is nearby and the Vel'Koz is that vision, you got to get yourself out of there. Got to get yourself out of there. I know they saw you, but you just got to keep sprinting it. As soon as he goes for that zone, you should be crawling your way back up that river and getting yourself to safety, because you were in a little bit of a pickle. All right, LeBlanc takes the whole first tower here. We're getting, sorry, we were going to check the gold differences again. Okay, we're up even more in the top lane there, about a 2,500 gold, plus maybe a little bit then, 2,600, give or take. In the top lane there, that's a pretty sizable amount. Up about 600 gold in the jungle in favor of the other team, though, in favor of Team Grievous, with that Wukong having a lot of effective gates, there being 5-1 and 2. We have everybody jumping onto the set here. They should be able to take on the set. Can they get everybody out alive, though? Ooh, he's got a good flash to get over the wall there. We do have the Ghost from the Darius. He's got flash. He's going to go for it. Hits the E, hits the Q, and then a little bit of dunkage, and he's dead. The Vel'Koz tried to snap that with his ult. Buddy, I know you want those Magi stacks, but let your Darius do his thing. He was totally fine there. The lead in the mid is definitely going to be pretty sizable as well, about a 1,700 gold difference, maybe a little bit less. But, you know, 2 kills on each, but, you know, more experience and more CS, about 50, nearly 50 CS going in the favor of LeBlanc here. Bot lane's looking pretty darn even. I bet they're almost even in gold. Yeah, they're within 100, 200 of each other. That's pretty darn close. And then the Sona and the Leona are pretty much neck and neck. Both supports seem like they've been doing pretty darn well so far, honestly. I'm really liking the supports in this game. You know, Omja is going in pretty early here. Sorry, not pretty early. Pretty aggressive pretty early. But that's what you got to do on Leona. You got to be aggressive. You got the CC. You got the damage to help make it work. You're tanky enough to take some of those risks. Unfortunately, not all of them have panned out. Largely, I think, due to some well-timed ganks from these junglers. I think the junglers have been really, really good this game so far. They've been in good places at good times. This Wukong is likely going to be toasted here. That is unfortunate for the Wukong that the LeBlanc is so nearby, and you are just toast. I know you want to contest that. Herald, but your entire team is bot right now. You've got 3 members in the bot lane. You gotta let the one go. I know you probably didn't expect everybody to rotate that quickly, but you've got a pretty good lead. A lot of the gold is on you. I think you want to keep yourself staying strong. Try to make a play cross map if you can, except that you can't fight that, especially when the top and the mid are so strong. Keep playing to your strength of bot lane like you've been doing. You've been getting a lot of good work done down there. Focus on that as much as you can. I know you got to stem the bleeding there, but without your team there, that's just too risky, and you're risking giving up gold. This is a very aggressive dive here. They've got the Vel'Koz here to make it work, though. The Leona tanking up the tower just fine. You got to get yourself out of that tower range here real quick. The Aphelios is going to be pouring out the damage from behind, and he's going to be pouring out the damage under the turret as well, but now he's going to go down to the LeBlanc almost certainly, and that's a good bit of gold back onto the LeBlanc. And can she get anything more of it? I don't think she really can. The Leona's pretty tanky there. Unfortunate on how they kind of juggle that turret aggro. I'm sure Connor did not want to end up being the one tanking that. Unfortunate how it worked out. Maybe they could have juggled that a little bit better and he lives, but it was going to be difficult without LeBlanc coming in. He probably goes down either way, but still, you know, a good, 2-for-1 trade in the end. It could be worse for sure, and get a little bit of money onto that Vel'Koz for you. He's got 14 Magi stacked. stacks. He's got that move speed enabled now that he's past 10 stacks, so that's where the item starts to keep its value a little bit better, especially because even now if he dies and he drops in stacks, he can get back up to that range a little bit faster. But that's kind of tends to be his thing. He plays very, very far back, very safe, and plays with these ranged champions really well in what we've seen so far. It's just that early game, I think it's a little ambitious, to say the least. I think if you went for a more mid-game item and a less greedy item, let's say, I think you probably have some higher farm numbers here. Actually, wouldn't be pushed out of lane quite as easily and be able to farm the wave a little bit better while we were waiting for those stacks to come on. You were having to play so safe. But now things, let's check the gold again here. Close the gap in top lane a good bit. Only an 1,800 gold difference. I know only an 1,800 gold difference, but hey, it's coming down. You're going the right direction with it. That's good stuff. Jungle's nearly even again on both sides. That's pretty good. Mid lane definitely up about 1,500. So yes, okay, this is once again Meshi where you gotta play with your team. I know you want to try to contest these objectives. When your team isn't there, you gotta just let them go. You're throwing good money after bad at this point. With trying to contest those, especially with them having you had some pretty good vision around it. You knew what was happening. I know you want to try to sneak it, you want to try to steal it, you want to be the hero. Maybe you can blast cone, take a blast cone there, try to get over, smite it, get back out that way, because you can go over the wall again. That's a little less risky to go for that kind of play. Now they're going to get the bot turret as well. That's okay. Missed the pull in there from Darius. I know it's going to be more manual on the camera, but I keep trying to break down these plays and then more things are happening. I've got the Herald here. Shouldn't get off another charge. Should be able to stop it well enough here. And the next objective that's going to be up is Baron. Don't think we're going to see a Baron too aggressively here. Unless the Jinx starts rotating up towards mid lane, then we could see him take it a little bit more quickly. Otherwise, the damage output I think is going to be a little bit slow on it here for Team Hardcore. Overall, though, very, very close game. I'm liking both these teams. You have about a 4,000 gold lead total for Team Hardcore here, Team Red. Since I don't have the names displayed anywhere, I want to kind of say them a bunch in game one. At least you can get yourself and me used to the team names and the players on these teams. I do think it's fun to have names for your teams. Good, you can't see my cursor. Let's see, you can't see my cursor? That's going to make it really hard when I'm indicating towards things. Be careful here, Philios. You could be run down, unfortunately. Okay, you got a team here to back you up. That's really good. Nice. Okay, never mind. You were baiting the whole time, sir. You even baited me, the caster. You might still go down here. Yeah, but let's say, that set might be able to trade you out here, unfortunately. So you put your body on the line for the team. You got a 2-for-1 still, which is pretty good. You'll definitely take those. But unfortunate that the set claims the victim on his way out. Definitely got to see how well they can convert this mid and top advantage on Team Hardcore here into something more. They're doing a pretty good job. I think that they're doing well with the objective control here. I think it's kind of the weak point right now for Team Grievous on the left-hand side here. I think that they're struggling a little bit with those objectives. They're not grouping well enough for them. Meshi clearly wants to. He wants to get those objectives. He knows when they're on them. He knows when they're up. He's got the timing on it. He's got the sense for it. But then when his team isn't there, he's got to just give it up. You got to give it up, got to back up, or go for a slightly sneakier steal on some of those. I think the Herald one, he might not have just been expecting a rotate to come in that quickly from the team, and maybe he wasn't prepared in that sense. But I think the other one, they had pretty good vision. He knew what it was. He was just trying to steal. But I think you go for the blast cone over there, and then you have a potential out at the very least if you don't get it. As opposed to the other way where you try to wrap around and you leave yourself less of an out. Especially because you do have a lot of early game gold, and you want to be converting that advantage a little bit for your team. Not to harp on that. I know it's just, it's a mistake. But going forward, I think that's got to play around with your team. I know as a jungler, I play jungle all the time, and you're like, please, if you just came, this would be the freest dragon in the world. There's 2 people there, we have 3 people nearby, let's just kill them, take the dragon, it'd be so free. Please, just come, team, you're right there. You're not gonna come? No? It's just me versus 2, I guess, and nope, okay, I guess I'm dead, I'm just giving away a kill instead of this, what would have been a free dragon if the team came. But it's difficult, and in this one, I've not been able to see exactly if the team hasn't been able to rotate for any particular reason, or if, a lot of the times it's difficult for those Vel'Koz to rotate early because he's under so much pressure here from the LeBlanc. A nice pull from the Darius. Okay, he doesn't hit that sweet spot Q. If he can break these chains, he'll be okay. Couldn't break the chain, and now he goes down to the Ignite. Unfortunate there. Just really well spaced by the LeBlanc there to keep her distance, keep those chains on him, and keep him locked away. The pull was pretty good, but after that, the second chain coming through really kind of put the nail in the coffin on him there. Alright, we have a lot of vision down here for red in the bot jungle here. Yep, we're going to see this cleared as well. And we got some vision on Baron there for red, so pretty good vision control from red here. Blue's doing alright too, so I like that both teams have gotten themselves some pretty good vision here. Looks like they're about to try to make a play on the set down here. Let's see if that goes well for them. It's definitely an ambitious one. He is pretty strong, but they've got the Divine Thunder on the Wukong, so they're going to be doing some pretty solid damage to him. And they sent 4 people from here. The W hits, but doesn't quite do enough damage, and they managed to take him out. They sent the entire Goon Squad after him, and LeBlanc is up there snacking on some turret herself there, so going to get herself some gold on in her pocket. A little bit more map control for Team Hardcore there, and we'll see what happens when this next dragon spawns. I know that Meshi's been wanting to fight with these dragons, and I think the team is strong enough. I think that both these teams, There's about a nearly 4,500 gold lead in favor of Team Hardcore over there right now, but I think the Team Grievous has the punching power to take a fight. They have to take a good fight at this point, and they need that vision control first. You can definitely see as we look over here, they've got some vision through their own jungle here, but they have nothing really any deeper than that, and nothing on Dragon itself. I would love to see them start moving. Ideally, you got to move as a team and take those out. We're going to see the ward here now. Still take out a little bit of that, and then we need to see them group as a team here. The Darius should be, the pushing point for this. Get themselves a vision there. Prepare for this dragon that you know is up soon. Get yourselves in there first. I like this a lot more from Team Grievous here. They're taking the initiative here now on this dragon as opposed to trying to go into the team that already has the initiative. Got to make sure this Philios loses to this LeBlanc. Okay. Oh my God, those chains didn't break. That is heartbreaking. They trade ADC for ADC here. That is unfortunate. I've had it happen too. You think you can flash out of the range of those chains, and they're just a little longer than it feels like they should be. And with the solar flare dropping in here, let's see, has the Skarner ult anybody? I think he did, but I couldn't quite tell. We have the Darius doing some work here, dunks the LeBlanc, and he's going to bring the stacks over, convert them onto the set here. He gets dunked away from the team. We have another Q here once that shield fades. Okay, didn't quite have the shield fade, but I think he will still get another tick damage. Another dunk there, and it is a 4-4-2. Yeah, 4-for-2 trade in favor of Team Grievous here. Like I said, they're strong enough to take that fight. I think they were in a good position to do that. Very well engaged, good fight there. It was a good pick by the LeBlanc early to take out the Philios. That takes out a huge amount of damage from them, but then the follow-up was just really, really good from the Leona, from the Darius, and from the Wukong there. That main beefy, bruisery frontline there. Able to take a lot of that damage, deal a lot, and have a lot of CC to go with it. Nicely played there, and unfortunately the set wasn't quite able to do as much as he wanted in that fight, I imagine. He's having a difficult time because they're focusing him pretty well. They're doing a good job of keeping him from converting that advantage he had in the top lane pretty well, which is what you got to do. Again, I didn't see the Skarner ult there. I'm curious to who Skarner ulted there. It might have just been like a panic ult of ult who was on top of him there near the end once the fight was kind of getting chaotic. It might have just been grab somebody to stop them from attacking for a little bit, and maybe you didn't go on to a priority target. You can grab that Aphelios was out obviously, but you can grab that Aphelios, or you can grab that Vel'Koz. If you can get to the Vel'Koz, that is a very, very roasted and toasted Vel'Koz. You want to get yourself out of there, Meshi. I think you should do pretty well there to get out. Yep. Looks like you should be okay. Okay, nice dodge of the chain there, and I think you're just gone. At this point, it's a little bit greedy from Vronti to continue this chase because they don't have any vision any deeper than this, and I think he's going to pay dearly for it. It's going to be a pretty big W coming out, but they dodged the tree damage of it, and yep, a little greedy there. I know you want to fight him. But once you lost that vision there, it was definitely greedy to go forward. I think once that LeBlanc chain missed, you got to dip it. Actually, it was all a bait anyway because they're sneaking the Baron during it. I was too tunnel visioned as well. I don't think that Team Grievous would have seen that coming at all. I didn't see it coming at all. Nice vision control, knowing that they don't have vision on you there. That's why the set's fighting it. That's why they're going after it, because they're baiting it. They're buying time. They're just stalling for the team to take that Baron. I like that. I like the play a lot, actually. Yeah, it looked a little bit sketch, but in the grand scheme of things, actually a really, really solid play. You lose what? Just your set for it, right? The Skarner didn't end up committing with it as well. So, or sorry, the LeBlanc didn't end up committing with it as well. So that's pretty good. Oh, straight into the solar flare. What a good solar flare drop there by Omja. Does pay for it with his life as the Sona chases him down there, but now we've got the Jinx getting excited, but the Sona ult just misses there, and the Skarner has not yet ulted anybody. He does not have flash, but he's moving pretty darn fast. Can he get on the Vel'Koz here? If he can, then it's a dead Vel'Koz, but he can't quite reach, so he goes for the set instead. That's definitely, the Wukong instead, my bad. And then the Aphelios will drop as well, and they're just running through them there. I think that once that Sona is online, she just empowers the entire team with move speed, keeps them all healthy, keeps them getting shields. Unfortunate that ult whiffed in the mid lane there, but overall, pretty nice fight, and that Baron going to let them push down these towers here quite effectively. That was a really, really nice play out of Team Hardcore there. I love the call to just do the Baron. You know that they don't have the vision. You've got them distracted in bot lane. As soon as they see that whole team coming out of the woodworks in bot lane, chasing after that set. Originally, I thought they chased too far, and they're like, oh, he overextended. Let's punish this. Let's get this, guys. Yes, he did overextend, but he was doing it for a good reason. At first, I was like, Vronti, what are you doing? What's going on in your head, man? You're overextending there. You're throwing your lead. No, he's not. He's extending his lead by helping his team sneak a Baron. Love that play. Really, really good. Really back and forth game, too. Definitely been some gold in the favor of Team Hardcore here for most of the game here, but the fights have been really back and forth. It really feels still like it is anyone's game. We got 2-2 on the Dragons. It's going to come down to some team fight play and some positioning and coordination here. See who can make the right choices in these fights and who can get themselves the advantage for the remainder of this game, because it's a pretty tight one. Take a minute here to look at our itemizations and see how things are coming through. We've got 2 completed items on the Darius and the Wukong. We have a 2 and a half items, give or take, on the Vel'Koz here. We have a 3rd item nearly complete for the Aphelios here, trying to get his Lord Dom's regards coming through, and it looks like he is working towards a QSS as well with that Negatron cloak. We've got Sona here at 2 full items, and working on a... That might be a Frozen Heart. I'm not sure. We'll see what she ends up going with there. We have 3 full items in the set. We have 2... That's a nice spell, right? That's a full item? Yeah. Yes, but yeah. I never built that item, so I don't really know. So 3 full items on the Skarner here. One of which is a little bit supporty. I like that. Try to keep that, you know, Jinx and LeBlanc a little healthier. I like that. 3 full items on the Jinx here, so she's doing pretty well for herself. I like that. And then Sona has some support items. I don't really play support, so I don't really know what those items do, unfortunately. But I think we have 2.5 items completed, right? We have Echoes and Ardent Sensor. Yep. So pretty good. Now, this is a newish item to me, so it provides some healing and does some extra damage around. That just seems really good for Sona overall. That's pretty good. Yeah, as long as you're damaging, you're doing healing to everybody around you. Whew! That's pretty good. Restores health. Does it heal one person? Shielding Alex is also... Okay. I'm not sure if that heals that many people around you, but you can already see 1400 healing done on it. That's pretty sweet. Alright. Overall, we've got the Dragon spawning here in 40 seconds. It looks like Team Hardcore is going to be the first ones to make their move in there to try to set up vision, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult here to play into that. Let's see. Do we have... Okay, we did have Lord Doms completed from the Aphelios here, so that's going to be sweet going into the fight here. So 3 items on both ADCs. We're going to start to see those be... either coming very alive or being very prioritized by the enemies here. If the Skarner gets a strong pick onto one, it's going to be very difficult, so we don't have a QSS on the Aphelios. He did sell that Negatron cloak, I think. Interesting. I guess he really wanted the Lord Dom, because he's just like, whatever, I can't finish the... okay, we have a huge fight coming out here. We have the Jinx getting a kill here. Nice. Okay, this is going to be traded back on the set from the Aphelios here. The Aphelios is still able to keep his range here, but we do still have the ult on the Skarner. He's going to flash, and he's going to ult. That's going to be a dead Aphelios. Like I was saying, once he realized that he couldn't afford to finish the QSS, I think he said, I'd rather have Lord Dom, so this very important fight coming up here. Because if I can't cleanse it, the little bit of magic resist isn't going to do me any good anyway. May as well finish my item. We're going to need to see him pick up a QSS here in the future. He's got to do it. It sucks, but you got to buy that. That being said, he was keeping his space really, really well there. If the Skarner didn't have flash, I think he actually kites that one out and it starts to make it really, really awkward for them. We're going to see the 3rd dragon here, the 3rd Wind Dragon. Wind Dragon? Yeah, Wind Dragon. Cloud Drake. Cloud Drake. What am I saying? I was just going by the symbols and symbol look a little bit. The Cloud Dragon picked up here by Team Hardcore, and we see that gold lead extending a little bit for the first time in a while. It's about 6,500 gold now. Most of that is on the mid lane and top and jungle. Mid, top, and jungle, right? Oops. No, spoiler bar. Don't look at that. So we have... Yeah, about 1,500 in the jungle. We have about 1,500 in top lane. These are starting to matter less and less, though. As this game goes on and people start finishing up these builds, these gold leads are going to start to become a little bit less relevant. I think the next dragon is going to be a really big point of contention because Soul is now on the line, and that's going to be very, very scary. If you get that Cloud Soul onto Skarner, he's going to start sprinting around the map whenever he uses his ultimate and everything. I forget exactly how the new Cloud Drake works. It used to be when you use your ult, you get a burst of speed. I don't think it's quite how it works anymore, but definitely it's move speed related, and Skarner's going to love that for sure. So that's going to be scary if he gets access. He's going to be hauling it to your carry, hauling them back in, and so hopefully they can stop them from getting that. Item completions after this last one, we see Jinx working on a Lord Doms of her own. We see the Force of Nature completed for the Darius. We see a Randuin's coming through from the Wukong, so definitely that more bruisery, supportery kind of Wukong there. Nice timing on that clone to pick up the aggro from the LeBlanc there and block that chain for you. We have still no QSS for this Aphelios, unfortunately. I imagine he's just a little bit short of. Let's see how much money he has in his pocket currently. He's got just a little bit more, and he's about 150 or so gold to finish this QSS for himself, which I'm sure he's going to be prioritizing. We see LeBlanc try to assassinate him here real quick. She gets traded for about half of her health and has to back off, but I imagine we're going to see the Sona heal most of that damage up pretty darn quickly as she's into a late game point here, and she's going to be quite strong. Bounty pick up there on the top, on the top turret, right? Yeah, the top turret. Yep, the top turret drops there. Pick up the bounty. And the Baron is now spawned, so that's going to be the new point of contention here. We see Team Grievous moving in here to get some vision priority here. They know that the set is bot lane and that neither top laner has teleport, but they know the Darius is also stuck in the bot lane here. So we're going to see how this pack of, members here can move into this Baron and actually get themselves a vision. I like this ward over the wall. Oh, I thought there was a blue ward. Never mind. This ward over the wall isn't actually doing that much for you. I would love a ward over there for Team Grievous. But we're going to see everybody kind of backs off a little bit. Everybody probably knows that this fight is very important. As you can see, that LeBlanc's getting healed back up here. Pretty good. She's going to try to assassinate the jungler here. That's going to be really painful. Leave that ward, sir. It's not worth it. It's not worth your life. If you can get out of here, I'd be amazed. Grab that scuttle. Did you hit the... No, cuz... I think that was going to hit Wukong anyway, but it's unfortunate you ran into it. Oh my god, and you see the power of the Vel'Koz coming in there. Oh my god, he slows her and just instantly executes her with that ultimate. Oh my god, it's just so much damage. I mean, he's got those 25 Medjai stacks. He's good at holding those stacks. I keep clicking off the scoreboard. That's unfortunate. So those stacks are coming through. I mean, you saw he just basically assassinated her, which is kind of wild. We see the Leona being dunked in by the set here, buying a bunch of time as much as she can. The Affiliates damage is coming through and does a ton of damage. That LeBlanc might drop to the Ignite. If she can get near her Sona, she will heal her. But I think that she just lives. She just lives anyway. The Sona didn't even need it. Wow, she actually just lived. I thought she would go down there. And they're going to be able to start with this Baron here. You got to be a little careful, LeBlanc, that you don't take too much aggro from this Baron here. Let's see, Darius, I don't think you want to throw good money after bad here and go in for this one. If you can distract them a little bit, I like that. Get the Baron to reset, maybe slow them down a little bit. Let's see if we can't get Baron's health bar in here. So let's see, the Baron's pretty healthy, so actually I like that. Yeah, that's the right play. You don't need to full commit. Once you spook them off a little bit, then you can back off. They've not taken this Baron. You're giving some time for your Leona to respawn. You want that front lane to be with you. Leona did a good job of buying a lot of time there, and they all grouped up, and the Affiliates was able to shoot a lot of damage out over the wall. I would love if you could take that. I think it's a good smite. You probably have another charge of smite up. I hope you do, sir, given that they're contesting this Baron pretty heavily here. Looks like he does. It'll be up in just a moment here. So smiting that away guarantees you that vision, that extra bit of mobility and move speed around that Baron, which is really good. I think when the Wukong was running away, I think that they had the scuttle, and I think if he had moved a little bit more, he might have been able to clip and grab that move speed. I think he just missed it, and it might have been able to let him get out, though that Jinx would have been problematic either way. We're going to see Team Hardcore pick up the Baron again here and start it off, and let's see how this is answered by Team Grievous. We see Leona diving straight in, getting onto the Jinx there, buying herself some time, but she doesn't have anyone there to help her out. We see the Darius trying to peel off the Skarner here. The Skarner has not yet ulted. The Skarner then ults the Vel'Koz, pulls him in, they kill him. The Darius also goes down. The Jinx gets excited. The Leona's still in the backline there. They're all dead. Unfortunately, they went in 3 versus 5. They didn't quite have their Affiliates, didn't quite have their Wukong. It looks like Meshi disconnected. That's really bad. I hope that did not actually affect that fight. But it seems like he is DC'd now. If that is the case, we'll see a slash pause coming in here most likely. The game might be paused if Meshi actually did DC. Hopefully they would, though it could just be that they're able to end the game here regardless. I think that at this point, with this many members being dead, I think that they can run it down with the Baron buff and win this game regardless. Hope that didn't end up changing the outcome of the game. I really do hope that that isn't the case. Let's really quick rewind a little bit and see where Meshi was. So Meshi had died there. And then he respawned a little bit. They were working toward this. So hang on. This fight breaks out. Where was he? So they started the Baron again. Meshi's still dead. So that's what they're going for. The jungler dead. Meshi spawns. And there's the Darius gets him off of it. He gets him to get off of the dragon there. I just want to take a look at this fight. I think they're going to end the game here. I don't think there's any way they can stop them there with only 2 members alive and them having Baron buff. But we see they contest that, and they get him off the Baron, they get the vision. Leona respawns, we've got Aphelios in mid lane. How did this go so wrong? What happened here? So Aphelios is backing off. He probably wants his red buff here, which I don't blame him for. He wants to be able to kite it out. But you're really far from the team here, and without having that great a vision around Baron, it's definitely a risk of them doing it. So it looks like they started up while Aphelios is taking red. Wukong is taking his Raptors. Okay, Meshi, I know you want the farm. With Baron up and then being off the map, you can't go for your Raptors right then. You just can't. The rest of the team sees it coming, and it hurts to give up the Baron here. I think that maybe here, if we back off, I know he can't really back off here. The Skarner's just spraying at you. Yeah, there's no way to back off there. Leona takes the blast, come back over to try to get in and help the team. Wukong's waiting in the wings. They're trying to get the Aphelios in there, but it's just too late. They were too scattered. That's tough. Meshi then DCs. I don't think he was there. I don't think it mattered. I think this game is not affected by that at the very least. Maybe they just know it's over. Maybe they DC'd because the game's over. Maybe it's just like a weird. I don't know. Maybe he has DC'd because the game's over. I don't know. Shouldn't affect it. I think they're likely to be able to run it down here in mid, actually win. I'd be very surprised if they couldn't end here, given that they have their entire team. At the very least, they're going to grab the soul here in a second here. But it looks like the DC at least didn't affect anything, and it's just unfortunate that Wukong and Aphelios found themselves a little too far away from Dragon there. I know you want the red buff on Aphelios. It's really good. A second here. I know you want to be there. Like you want the red buff because it's already so difficult to kite out this team. You want to be able to keep your distance from the Skarner a little bit better there. That's tough. I don't blame you for going for the red buff there. I think maybe if you drag it towards the Baron a little bit. Maybe you can get there a little bit faster. And the Wukong really needed to not go on the Raptors there. Those Raptors do not matter right now at all. Like, I don't know what you could back and buy with that. Maybe you buy a QSS and that can make a difference. But with that Baron being up and it being so heavily prioritized by everyone at the moment, you've got to be close to that objective. You got to be able to fight with your team there. Just in the end, that's what it came down to, really. It was a very, very back and forth game. That could have been anyone's. A little bit better grouping and a little bit better team fighting around those objectives from Team Hardcore here gives them game 1. Love to see how they adjust in the game 2. We'll bring that to you in just a little bit here.